I guess what I'm trying to say is that some of our most difficult moments put us on a path we later find ourselves lucky to be in. On the 1st of March this year, 2021, I had my second knee surgery to fix a meniscus tear and the ACL. Knee surgery part 2. Although I was given details and the time frame of my recovery, I didn't quite understand it. I prepared myself mentally for the 6 weeks bed rest, but I then had to learn how to walk again, and that came with a whole new set of challenges. If I were to continue to give you details on what happened, you'd miss the bigger picture and the lessons behind it. Let's go back to the first knee surgery. One side of the story could be told on a resentful tone. After the perfect first cruise ship contract in the Mediterranean, sunny little holiday home, with my next contract signed, flights and accommodation booked, I was then told I needed the surgery and I must reschedule everything. But after living through it, I got to see how important that event was in the rerouting of my story. If this wouldn't have happened, I would have gone to a small ship. I can't say for sure how I would have felt there. What I can say is that with this turn of events, I ended up going to Queen Mary 2, Cunard's flagship, and how that ship has changed my life. There were quite a few traumatic little personal events or really difficult moments that were crucial in reshaping my thinking, like forgetting a document at home, a mistake which cost me $1,000 for one night in New York City, not being able to get off the ship for weeks in a row, being in debt and working insane hours. But on the flip side, I traveled like I'd never have before, made some lifelong friendships, fell in love, and got to live life on fast forward. Now, the second surgery context was not very glamorous, even on a global scale. I can't say it was a wonderful time, at least for my freelancing work, but it may have been one of the most peaceful periods in my life, and I got to enjoy that, having a fantastic time with my mother. It took very long to be confident and quick on my feet again, for long shooting hours with heavy equipment. Besides the physical progress, I also stepped back from my CrossFit 5 AM tribe, which is my mental rock. Luckily, the recovery team I worked with in the past 6 months showed me on a daily basis how to recover from all sorts of diagnoses with laughter, silliness, and intention. Besides their professionalism and knowledge, they show you how big of an active role you play in your recovery and how anything physical tends to be more mental. Actually, this video was supposed to be about my time with them. Sometimes it sucks going through the process itself, but what I often find myself thinking is how I know for a fact you'll always miss something from the hardest moment. The city you lived in, the house you lived, your friends at the time, the view, the colleagues, or simply that version of yourself. The moment life puts you on a path, things snowball from there. Now, the activities that I have, the projects I'm in, are also a consequence of the past 6 months, or at least they're heavily influenced by them. Even the fact that I'm recording this video here now is a consequence of the past months. Let's call it an achievement. On a personal level, I've made more progress in these past 6 months than in the past 6 years. Uneventful times are not to be underestimated. There are some personal areas you can't deal with on the run. Or is that why we run, so we don't have to deal with them? Medical conditions are very intimate for everyone, especially in the way we choose to deal with them. I was given the front row seat to some life-changing, near-death experiences and lifelong recoveries. And whether we like it or not, we have an outstanding mental influence in our recovery. In this recovery process, I wish I've done one thing better in the past: film and document the hard time. Life tumbles you around, and in some of your worst moments, there are some amazing characters by your side. I cannot process this entire experience without one of my dearest friends at the back of my mind. I owe him many things, especially my first recovery. He guided me through the beginning of my second recovery, but unfortunately, he hasn't survived his. Life throws something at us on a daily basis, and sometimes we get stuck in survival mode. We learn things about ourselves we never really wanted to. We move on to happier moments, feeling guilty to let go of the painful ones. We accept not having received the answers to questions we were burning inside to ask. We accept the decisions others made, even if it means we're not to see them again. We recover at night after everything we lived through the day, and hopefully we'll get to appreciate being alive. Because no matter how much you struggle, how you're running out of money, how lonely and scary it gets at times, how far you are from where you thought you were supposed to be in your life by now, all you need to move forward is to remain alive and hopefully remember to live. I guess what I'm trying to say is that some of our most difficult moments put us on a path we later find ourselves lucky to be in.